I never stop and think when things are okay. Like, oh, what if things were a little better than okay? You know? I did not come with a tagline.
Do you think I did?
Man, why do we even make podcasts anymore?
Okay, I think I've got a tagline.
Okay, perfect. Also, we need to laugh less.
Yeah, I know. I say that every time I listen.
It's okay. It's okay.
All right. Hello, friends.
Hello, friends.
And welcome to Pickles and Vodka, the mental health podcast where if you just say that you're professional, it will be so. I'm one of your co-hosts, Lauren.
Fuck, I laughed.
So did I. God damn it. We're trying.
I'm Chris, your other co-host, and I think we're off to a very professional start today.
As always.
As always. Lauren, you are back from vacation.
I am. I got, well, technically 8 days. No, 9. 2 of them were driving.
Yeah.
But
I forgot how long it was, even though you've told me multiple times. I think at some point last week I texted you like, hey, can we record Thursday night? And you were like, I'm still on vacation. And so that's how I roped Janai into doing it with me last week.
Which I still have to listen to. I'm so excited to listen to that one, I gotta say, when I saw that pop up.
It's so good. We love Janai.
Yes. So, in staying professional, just what we usually start with up top. Chris, where are you at?
Where am I at? Well, I had 3 notes for this week. The first is goth karaoke.
I love that.
Yeah, I had a really fun experience this week. I have those Thursday night group rides with my queer motorcycle friends, and they usually go to goth karaoke at this club near me, but I've never gone because it's me. I'm not a club person, and it's late at night. But I went this time, and it was so much fun. It was just like all alternative, hot trans people.
So I got a note. Did you sing?
No. Of course not.
I know, but I was hoping you'd surprise me.
No. I have sung karaoke once in my entire life. It was in 2014, I think. And it was an Arcade Fire song that nobody knew from like their second album.
Oh.
I was drinking whiskey out of paper cups that night.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, the reason I bring it up on Pickles and Vodka, other than to let people know that sometimes fun things happen to me, is that it was a really nice exercise in doing something I did not want to do and feeling, I don't know, encouraged. As a result, it reminded me of how I felt actually in 2014 when I lived in Austin and I would go out with people all the time and just, I don't know, it felt, oh my God, I looked over to see what the kitten was playing with and she's literally just playing with herself. She's just jumping into the air at her own tail. I'm so sorry. I mean, I don't know if you can relate to this. We've talked about it before, how when things start feeling normal, I freak out. Like, it feels weird. And that's the other thing I wanted to talk about with where I'm at is radical acceptance.
Oh boy, my favorite, DBT.
Your favorite. We actually did a whole episode on acceptance back in 2023, I think.
Okay.
It was all about accepting the shitty state of the world.
Yeah,
and
I remember that.
The world has gotten,
not better.
Not better. So going into this, I thought I knew everything there was to know about radical acceptance. But it actually made me really uncomfortable. And they said, like, right off the bat that that's the part of DBT most people have the hardest time with is the acceptance piece. And I'm like, ugh, I'm a mental health podcaster. I will have no problem with this. And then going in, I don't know. The main thing is that they encouraged us to separate, like, the things we need to accept into 2 lists of, like, small things and big things, and they encouraged you to start with the small things.
Which makes sense.
Right. But basically the prompt was like, what is keeping you stuck unless you accept it? Which I think would be a great pickle pull for the future, by the way.
Yeah. When you said that, I was like, that'd be something to think about.
Yeah. I mean, one of the things that I need to accept is that I have a real and chronic condition, and I will most likely struggle with mental health my whole life. And I can go to goth karaoke and feel normal and be happy and still be me.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I think that's something when people do kind of land in that spot where you have sort of accepted, like, I mean, this is probably in some form going to be with me the rest of my life, you know, like mental health struggles and things like that. That the first thing that you can do is then use that as an excuse to get discouraged.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I think it is a good reminder that it's like, yes, as we have been saying often, two things can be true. You know, it's like, yes, that is probably something that I will have to deal with, but it does not mean I cannot also sometimes have fun, have a good night, enjoy my life. Like, both things can be true.
Right. Speaking of enjoying your life, I am dying to hear about your vacation.
Okay. I have no idea what I'm going to talk about as far as it, but once I get started, I'm sure I'll just go.
I figured this would be that kind of episode.
First of all, I can't start without kind of the elephant or the smoke monster in the room. First, we were going to spend a couple days just in, like, my mom's hometown. We had, you know, some beautiful, perfect beach days. We had one that was my favorite because the wind was coming in right, so there was, like, big waves on the lake, and I love playing in waves. Also, had to take back the information to people here because, you know, it's like, Missouri has some small man-made lakes that people go to, and as you can imagine, they're gross.
You said it, not me.
Yeah, but I was like, I realized, like, this one is so clear and so clean that I was up in water almost up to my neck, and I was like, I can look down through the water and I can see what color my toenails are.
I miss the Great Lakes.
Yeah.
Honestly, the shitty thing is it's cold a lot, but if you can get past the cold water, it's honestly like my favorite body of water I've swam in.
Yeah, in different areas, like when it's been warm for a while, like the warmest day, the water temperature was 78.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's only a few because Michigan doesn't have a long hot summer, but there are definitely some lovely swimming days.
When you say play in the waves, what do you do? Because, like, I like to float on the waves as they come in.
I do that, and also I like when I see a big one coming in and I just dive at it and let it splash all over me.
Oh, yeah.
Or sometimes, yeah, turn my back to it and let it just, like, push me all the way.
Or go underwater right when it's about to hit and, like, hear it pass over you.
Yes. So we had 2 lovely beach days, and then we're going to spend some time at Mackinac Island. We get up there early, and I think it was Tuesday, and that night, just as I'm going to sleep, it kind of smells like a campfire. I was like, weird. Someone, like, burning something? And, you know, and go back to sleep and didn't think about it. And then I wake up in the morning, and I look out, and I'm like, wow, look at the fog in the morning. You can hardly see anything. And I did not put it together until I come out, and my aunt's standing there, like, making coffee, and she's just like, see outside? You can thank the Canadian wildfires for that.
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah.
It surprised me how bad it was because, like, we're on Mackinac Island at first, and they're all about, like, biking everywhere. Like, I feel like this is the only time I was on Mackinac Island, and I did not get on a bike a single time.
I mean, even in Virginia, my birthday weekend, we were supposed to go to the beach, and we canceled it because of the air quality. And we didn't even have, like, a ton of smoke. It was just the quality of the air was so bad from those same wildfires.
Yeah.
And you were even closer.
As it was starting to dissipate for us, it was moving more towards you, so you probably did still get hit pretty bad.
Yeah. It reminds me of 2020 in Seattle when the California wildfires were a thing, and, like, the sky was literally red.
Oh my god.
For days on end.
Well, I'll send you a picture that I've been showing people of the day we left because we're walking out in the morning and realize, like, there is this big, like, bright, very, very orange dot in the sky, and we're like, oh, that's the sun.
I remember that day!
Yeah.
So many people I know in different parts of the country were, like, sharing pictures of it. It was so unreal. How was your mental health through the whole thing?
I feel like, as an overall question, that's like, what?
Well, you were talking about being nervous about, like, comments about your body.
Yeah, so I mean, there was some stuff I noticed while I was there. I feel like as far as that stuff, it was kind of good. And then, I mean, I should have expected this, but then I got hit with surprise backlash because I was, like thinking of that. And right when we started in the car, in some way, it felt like desperation because I have mentioned, like, I know that my mom said something about my appearance last year. And even though I've maintained the same size for many months, I know I am smaller than last year. So that's all she might see.
Mm-hmm.
When we were in the car, even like we stopped for a meal midway through, and I'm already thinking like, can I somehow just abandon all rules that I might usually hold and just, like go all out and magically put on 10 pounds today so my mom doesn't say anything.
Wow. That's so interesting.
And, it's like that felt like out of desperation, but what I noticed is I felt like I did take that in like the first couple days, and I realized like, oh, in a more relaxed way, is just kind of like for a few days, I felt like that kind of gave me permission to not be so rigid with myself. I mean, part of me is having anxiety, hoping that I can get her to not say anything, but also if the upshot is I'm on vacation and I just get something I enjoy, why not?
Why not? Yeah.
Yeah. And so it was like, that was nice. But like I said, I think like 2 or 3 days. And I specifically remember when the boyfriend and I were walking around town by ourselves and said, oh, like this little place where we went before, I think they, just like I just feel like something kind of light, but I think they have, some good salads. Let's just go in there and get something like that. So not a heavy meal or anything like that, but it was like, I remember where the backlash hit. It was like our food got delivered and I was just sitting there like, oh my God, I've just let myself do whatever for like 3 days. And I don't want to know how I'm fucking everything up. I got to get control back.
Oh man, it's so relatable. The illusion was shattered.
And yeah, just like sitting there with that internal battle. And I was like, shit, well, that proves that you can't just say like, wow, I'm going to make this change for myself. Magic, I'm okay now.
Yeah, oh my God. We actually have a lot in common this week in terms of that, like experiencing a taste, no pun intended, of normalcy and like happiness. And then, yeah, feeling that backlash of what have I done?
Yeah. And just kind of realizing that it's like, that doesn't mean you have one good day. And like, I don't mean this in a discouraging way, more in a realistic way. Like, that doesn't mean like magically everything's better from here on out.
Well, yeah, that's the nonlinear part. I mean, we know this on paper, but every time it plays out in real life, somehow we're shocked.
But yeah, I know. Like, sometimes you need it in practice to remind yourself, yeah, that's still true.
Especially with eating disorders, it's so hard to get to that place of normalcy because, like, you have to eat every day. I don't know. I've been thinking a lot about body dysmorphia this week, and because my mental health has been a little better and I've been doing fun things and like active things, I kind of thought I would be a little like more okay with my body. But no, it's worse than it's been in a while, to the point like I when I see a picture of myself, I want to cry. And I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think of 2 things because I think like, yeah, having a good day or a few good days, like it's not a magic pill and now everything is wonderful forever. But also I feel like in some ways it's kind of comforting when that happens, because I do think like otherwise, if I did have a couple of good days and think like, wow, is this going to be forever? Then I almost like start feeling like anxiety, like, well, yeah, but all this mental health shit has been me in my identity. Am I not me anymore if I'm okay?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Almost relieving, yeah, to know like, no, I mean, it's still there. Hopefully it doesn't have to be 24/7, but, it's still going to pop up.
Well, and if you look at it from a slightly different perspective, like, it's nice when you have the normal days, even if they don't last long, to remind yourself that you're capable of that, even if you go back to how you were before. It's just like peaks and valleys for the rest of our life.
Yeah, like I feel like it's good to know that I'm still myself, but also that I am able to have fun.
And also that you're able to have fun.
There
Sorry,
we go.
I had to. I've been insufferable in real life with the dialectical shit. Like, if you think it's bad on the podcast.
That's funny.
But yeah, so you got hit with the backlash. How far into the vacation was this?
I think like 3 or 4 days.
So like halfway through.
Yeah. And I did feel like that kind of made sense, like after it happened, that I was like, well, yeah, what did you expect? And, you know, that seems about right, that somewhere in the middle it'd suddenly be like, oh my God, red alarm.
Especially spending that long with your parents, for me, that's like the cap.
Mm-hmm.
Like a weekend with my parents is doable. More than that, I'm starting to regress into a lot of things.
Yeah. And that is also why, I mean, I'm willing to do so long. I love the setup, which, you know, is my mom and her husband are out at his place. The boyfriend and I stay at her place by ourselves.
Ugh, that is perfect. You can't beat that.
We can get them in just the dose we want. Like, we're coming out there for the afternoon. And, you know, it is our vacation, you know, so they totally understand if we're like, yeah, we're just going to go out, you know, somewhere and grab dinner by ourselves or something like that. Yeah.
Was it good for y'all to just have all that time together and chill?
Yes. And that was something that I was looking forward to, but also afraid of, because I know it had been that way for us last summer. I was hoping for that again, but I did think, I was like, but there's no guarantees. What if I think this is going to be this, you know, really nice, relaxing time where we're just comfortable with each other, and actually this time it's horrible, but it wasn't.
Nice.
Yeah. I was supposed to squeeze in a therapy session before I left. She just heard all about my parents and knows, you know, how I feel around them. So when I was like, I'm kind of nervous about that, she's like, when is that? And I was like, next week. And she's like, oh shit, we got to get you in. But I feel like I have to kind of defend her sometimes, because I know she does still cancel a lot. And I know part of the reasons, like, I don't know what exactly her health issues are, but it makes her like really susceptible to, you know, just like a lot of illnesses and a lot of things like that.
That sucks.
Yeah.
For both of you.
Yes, exactly. This second time around seeing her, I know she has been much better about immediately like rescheduling instead of just being like, sorry, I gotta cancel. Then you just wait till the next session. So it hasn't been as much, you know, just like I'm left alone. But this time, and I don't know for sure, I'll know when I see her, it sounds like she might have got that cyclospora thing, whatever that stomach.
Is that the lettuce thing?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Because she had to cancel and, you know, and she rescheduled. And then she had to reschedule again.
Oh no.
And then she just said, I am canceling for the rest of the week. And when she got back to us afterwards, she was like, it actually like got so bad that I had to like spend a night in the hospital being rehydrated.
Oh my God. I mean, it's terrible. I don't know. I feel a little weird talking about her health on the podcast, but it also, it's a pattern. It's like, if it's not one thing, it's another.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and maybe she just has really bad luck. It doesn't matter what the reason is. You're missing therapy pretty regularly.
Yeah. I feel like I understand her position, and like if it's a health issue, I can't really argue with that. Like that sucks for her that she has to deal with that too. But it is just, you know, some people have no immune system and they got to deal with that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you can't fault someone for that. But I do agree some of the other things where it's just like, oh, I got in a car accident on the way to work or something. I'm just kind of like, does it have to always be something?
Yeah, and I don't know. It's not that we are faulting her, saying she's like making it up or anything. It's just.
But it does get frustrating.
Right.
And that's why I said, like, I do feel like it's better this time around, because I feel like most of the time I can count on almost every other session, it seems like, having to cancel, but usually it's just been like the next day I go in, it's fine.
So you have not had therapy since.
Yeah, this all means that by the time I see her next week, it will have been at least a month since I've had therapy.
That's insane.
Uh-huh.
Pickles and vodka doesn't count. If anyone thought that you're getting therapized while listening to this, sorry.
Yeah, I mean, it's helpful. We make each other face ourselves and realize things, but it's not a therapy session.
No, a month is crazy. I had not realized it had been that long.
Yeah.
What do you notice about your mental health when you miss, say, a week of therapy versus 2 weeks versus a month? If anything.
I feel like I frequently miss a week, and a lot of times that's on me because I'm also just kind of scheduling where my money situation is. So sometimes if things are tight, then I might say like, okay, I'm going to schedule the next one for 2 weeks.
Yeah, I've done that before. That, unfortunately, that makes sense.
1 week, I would say, is not a big deal. 2 weeks, depending on what's happening and what I need to talk about, can make me kind of anxious. And something like this, like a month or more, and I didn't think of this until you just asked the question, but I realized this is it. Then I start doing the opposite thing where I tell myself, as I like to do, oh, okay, yeah, I was dealing with this and struggling, but you know what? None of it's really a big deal. I'm just making all this stuff up. Really, everything's fine. Fuck that. I don't even need therapy.
Oh my God, yes. It's the same thing we were talking about at the beginning of like feeling like we're losing our identity. I mean, even with weekly therapy sessions, I still sometimes, when nothing is quote unquote going on, I still feel like there's nothing to talk about and it gets in me in my head. And all I can think about is I am so stupid for sitting here and taking this person's time and boring them with my boring average life. and, especially, this happens often when you get out of treatment. I feel like when you don't immediately relapse and things are pretty fine and normal.
Yes.
And you're like, man, I didn't really need to be in there. And so I'm going to maybe start dabbling with some of the habits I had before then because I'm not really sick.
Yes. Yes. You're like, I'm not great right now, but so much better than I was at the worst. I'm really fine. And, looking back, I don't think things really got that bad. I probably could have done this by myself. Probably would have just happened. Yep.
Well, yeah. And especially if you've been in regular treatment or regular therapy for so long that you can't really remember a time where you skipped a lot of it. And then you skip a lot of it and you're apparently fine.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, man, what was I doing all that time? I never had to be in there in the first place.
I mean, that's why, it was so hard. What was it at this point? Maybe like 8 or 9 months ago that I restarted therapy after like a couple of years without.
I know.
Like that took me so long and was so hard to get motivated to actually do it. I would think about it and then I'd just be like, yeah, look at how long I've done without. Fine. And right now, it would even say, because now, I've been considering off and on, like, should I try and get a psychiatrist again? Maybe see if some medication would help again. But it's like, I've been without for so long.
Yeah, how's that working out for you?
Not the worst, but definitely not the best.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean that to be as snarky as it sounded.
Oh, no. Because you're correct. It is still the point that we were just saying, where I can talk to myself about, like, well, I'm not in this, like, total free fall, just as, like, crashing to the bottom as fast as humanly possible, so I guess I can get by without meds. But that's the point I've been making too, is like, what if I tried medication when I'm just kind of meh, and maybe it makes me feel good instead of try it when I am desperately trying in any way to just stay alive, and all it does is bring me up to like the minimum baseline I can function.
You just blew my mind again. That's because everyone waits for a crisis until, not everyone. A lot of people wait until a crisis to increase their level of care or like start a med or whatever. I'm one of those people for sure. Because I never stop and think when things are okay. Like, oh, what if things were a little better than okay?
Yeah, and that's really what it's been, is when I think back, I'm like, yeah, most times when I have tried like meds for depression, then I have been in such a low point that, like, if I found anything that did have any effect or any help, it seemed like all it did is like claw me back to like, okay, now I am able to wake up in the morning. I can go to work. I can take a shower. That's where it gets me to.
You're like, oh, I'm cured. this is it.
Yeah, but I'm still not good. I'm still just like clawing to basic life, it feels like. So yeah, thinking like, wow, imagine if you're just in a kind of medium, not great place and you actually feel good. Huh.
I'm writing down what something you said. Yeah, we don't even consider that could be a possibility.
It's like we don't think that we deserve anything more than like barely surviving.
Right. I mean, at this point, it's not even about deserving. It's like I literally have gone so long telling myself I don't deserve this that it's not even really a possibility. And it's hard to explain, to the point where if I keep mentioning the goth karaoke because in my mind, it feels like such a big point, like the turning of a page or something. But in reality, it's such a minor thing to go out for a few hours and like smoke cigarettes and watch people do a karaoke and then go home. Nothing really happened, to the point where I was trying to talk about it and I was like, oh, actually nothing really happened. But like the vibes and like I felt so good. Like in some ways, I think it's kind of cute that these quote unquote average occurrences can make us feel so good.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of the upside of all this, is that when we're used to being so miserable as our baseline. Like,
you just reminded me of something. I got to put a pin in it. Keep talking.
I mean, I was just gonna say, like, if you're friends with someone who is depressed or like mentally ill or whatever, and you just take them on like a normal activity, that shit goes far. As the person who has to be forced to go to like normal activities.
Yeah.
I mean, none of this is news. It's just...
No, but that doesn't mean it's easy to remember, as we've proven.
Right. That's why we repeat ourselves on this podcast sometimes. Yeah. We're trying to repeat it, like, hammer it into our brains.
What you reminded me of when you were talking, though, was I think it's just, like, how important such a seemingly small, insignificant-looking thing can be. And this will be good, because I feel like I use this podcast especially as a chance to complain about things in my relationship and feeling missed and stuff like that. And so the boyfriend doesn't get a lot of credit. So this is a good story. When I think of it, I'm like, it's such a silly, silly thing. And I don't think anyone would necessarily understand the point. But we were on the drive home. He had gotten some trail mix to snack on. And I'm driving. And he's sitting there with that. And he just randomly turns around and asks me, he was like, which color of M&Ms did you say it was that scare you? Is it the blue ones? And it's so weird because it was just like, that moment made me feel so good because
so seen.
Exactly. Because I was like, I say that, that I do feel like a lot of times, I talk and he's waiting for his turn to talk and he doesn't think it's a big deal, that he doesn't remember these conversations we had and things I've told him. And I was like, not only did he remember my weird little quirky thing, but he even got the color right. I was just like, I love that.
That's so sweet. Remind me why you're scared of the blue ones again.
I mean, I don't know if I have a reason. I am unsettled by unnatural blue food. Anything that's...
What's a natural blue food?
Blueberries. Some blueberries are blue. That's about all I can think of. But that's why I have to clarify that, because I was like, blueberries are fine, because they're supposed to be.
Blueberries are blue, folks. See you next week.
I even remember it started when blue raspberry blow pops came out and everybody loved them. And I started to have one once, and I was just thinking about how it was turning my tongue blue, and I was like, I don't like this, and I threw it away.
That's fair. Honestly,
yeah.
I used to feel that way about, like, fake, like, deli meat.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't feel like real meat to me.
Well, usually it just is like, weird, unnatural shape. I get it.
Or baby carrots, too. Have you ever stopped to think about...
I wish that I'd never found that out. When I found out about baby carrots, it kind of ruined them for me. I agree.
I know. Yeah. I forgot what we were talking about. I'm just thinking of baby carrots now.
I know.
So my caseworker for Medicare called this week and did the yearly assessment, where she just asked a lot of questions about my lifestyle and, like, goals and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess I told her my goal for the next year is to find some sort of treatment for my eating disorder, because that's like one of the things I need to accept, is that, like, it's becoming more of a problem / has been a problem for so long. And because it hasn't been as much of a problem as it's been in the past, it's been really easy to just kind of coast.
Mm-hmm.
But these past few weeks have been pretty stable and pretty fun. And the eating disorder is like getting worse. I don't know. It's kind of just reminding me again and again that this is not something that I can control.
I just thought of something. And
What?
this totally came from left field, and I don't know why. I feel like this might be something that could work for you.
Okay. Fix me right now, right here.
Yeah. Would you consider trying an eating disorder coach? Because I feel like it's probably hard to find a good one, but it seems like if you could, it's a totally different, like, I don't have personal experience, but I know some friends that do. I'm just thinking in terms, like both of us, like, we've gone to treatment, and I always feel that kind of stuff, like, if it's doing the same thing over and over again, clearly it hasn't been working for me, so why do I want to, why do I want to keep doing it? Try something new.
Exactly. And I have my qualms with the treatment industry, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And I also am very skeptical of life coaches and all that kind of thing. I mean, we have had a bulimia coach on the podcast, actually, Jacqueline of the Binge Breakers podcast. This was, I think, before you came on. This is in 2021. I don't even know if she's still coaching anymore, but she was one of those rare people that I would trust.
That's what I'm thinking, is it's like, it would be hard. You'd probably have to, like, get some recommendation from somebody that you know and trust, like, this person is actually legit.
Well, and if you think of it as, like, community care, I mean, yeah, you're paying them. That's another thing about life coaches, is that they don't take insurance most of the time, and something about it feels predatory to me. But on the other hand, it's like a form of peer support, and I've always been really into that.
I feel like if it's a good person doing it, you can almost get more, like, in therapy, sometimes they come at it as, like, well, my job as a therapist is I have to kind of, like, hold your hand and be this sort of person for you, where I feel like because they don't have that same sort of, I don't know, obligation, that a coach could sometimes not be afraid to kick you in the ass if you need it.
That's the thing. Yeah, therapists are there to hold your hand and be a sounding board. But sometimes I wish they would just, like, kick me in the ass, tell me what to do.
On the other hand, like, I'm coming at this having a friend who I know, for, like, years, had a coach that, she would tell me about it, and I could tell, like, this person is very helpful for you, probably more helpful than a lot of therapy I know you've been in, so that's a good one. But I also know somebody, I'd been in treatment with her, and she went out at some point, and yeah, just like, because you don't have to have credentials, called herself an eating disorder coach, and, was advertising her service. I'm like, this is the last person anyone should be hiring.
Well, and unfortunately, I feel like a lot of eating disorder coaches are like that. They're people who are consciously or not working through their own eating disorders and letting it color the advice they give to people. And I just don't feel good about it.
That's fair.
Listener, if you have had an eating disorder coach, or if you know one, then reach out if it's good or bad one way or another.
Yeah, if you've had a good or bad experience, feel free to share.
Right. I almost said, if you are an eating disorder coach, reach out. But I was like, no, actually, I don't want to hear from eating disorder coaches.
And that does sound more like advertising.
Yeah, let me be clear. Jacqueline, it wasn't like that. I had been listening to her podcast for a long time, and I reached out.
Yeah, I think I heard an episode, actually, that you did, because I think you referenced one once. I didn't even realize that she was a coach. I could tell that, that, like, she was a legit person.
Well, and someone who had bulimia. So she's really an anomaly.
Mm-hmm.
Lauren and I have gotten so many wild guest promo requests. A lot of them are like AI, probably.
We've gotten more. I mean, you shared that crazy one with me.
Oh, I get them all the time. Let me see if I can find one right now. There are always people who have gone through, like, this crazy experience and they want to talk about it. Oh,
I was thinking of the one that turned out to be like a weight loss doctor. I was like,
yeah,
no, thank you.
Okay, here's one. This is someone who has reached out multiple
Oh
times.
boy.
Oh, this is the same one I showed you, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they always... This person actually references something you say in the episode, which is weird. It makes me think, like, either AI is scanning it, or this person is, like, listening and, like, using it to get in there.
Yeah, like, did they ask AI, like, pull out key phrases?
Yeah, like, so her second paragraph says, I work with blah, 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 a board-certified family medicine physician and creator of Mind Hygiene, registered trademark. Like your chat about DBT and learning to manage big emotions in real life, blah, blah, blah can talk about short writing and awareness practice for resentment, self-judgment, and self-trust. Like, that just doesn't sound...
No.
And then, after that, about 20 days later, she said, Hi, Christina and Lauren. Not sure if you've seen my last email, but I'll keep this one super quick, smiley face. We've put together more information about blah, 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 potential guest, on his profile page. I believe he would make a great guest on your show. And then she gives me a link, and then she says, do you think your audience would learn something from blah, blah, blah?
I hope not.
And then she says, we're happy to spend $100 to boost the episode on LinkedIn.
Uh-huh.
And we get a lot of stuff like that. Enjoy this behind the curtain glimpse of the glamorous pickles and vodka experience.
Yes.
Can you imagine if we just got a ton of new listeners and they were all from LinkedIn? Like, our target audience.
Right.
Because we are professional, as we said.
Exactly.
Honestly, it makes sense. Should I tell her yes?
No.
I'm just kidding.
I'm actually, in case you want to use this, I'm sending you the picture of the sky the day we left. Zoom in to look at the crazy sun. And yeah, I just had to look at the timestamp. This is 9:30 in the morning, and it looks like that.
Oh my god. Yeah, I'll post that on the Instagram. That's crazy. I like the church in the background, makes it even more ominous.
I know.
Yeah, I don't know. When I say treatment, I don't really know what I mean. And I told the caseworker, like, I don't know what I mean. At least something like outpatient. But I also am so disillusioned with all the options I have.
Yeah. I can't remember if we had this discussion or maybe I had it in therapy where I just said, like, something that I would consider, but I feel like is really hard to find is trying, like, a group therapy, like a therapy group again.
Yeah.
But the thing is I want an in-person one. Mm-hmm. And ever since 2020, that's impossible to find.
Even before 2020, it was hard to find in-person eating disorder, like, support groups.
Yeah, it seemed like you had to be in, like, a bigger city or something like that. But now I feel like even those have all, like, shut down.
Yeah, I mean, I really like the DBT group because it is in person. I don't like that we're not allowed to contact each other outside of class. I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah.
But also, I feel like I wanted some more connection than I'm having. And so I'm picturing an equivalent group, but for eating disorders. I don't know, being how eating disorders are so competitive in many cases, I don't know. I don't know.
Right.
I just don't know.
Yeah.
how that would work out.
And I feel, like I've had some past experience and some of them have been decent and some of them have not. And, one of them that I always reference was laughable.
Was that the Dunkin' Donuts one?
Donuts.
You weren't allowed to say Dunkin' Donuts?
Yeah.
Because it might trigger someone?
Yeah, where they just got, like, overboard about triggers and that's what they said, like, oh, if anyone wants to talk after group, we meet at the corner on the place whose name we can't say. Okay. I think when I first said that, you're like, it's Voldemort.
Yeah. Oh my god, it's so funny. I mean, yeah, I think it's good to try as many things as possible. I mean, if we have it our whole lives, we might as well try as much as we can to make life slightly better.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, assuming we have the resources and time to do these things. Like, these are really inaccessible things we're talking about. There's so many barriers, and that's another thing that makes me feel guilty is that I have access to all this stuff and I'm not using it.
What do you mean you have access to stuff you're not using? Like what?
Like treatment, I guess, or specialists. I mean, because I have Medicare, I guess, I mean, I have financial access. that a lot of people don't have.
True.
I still have barriers, obviously.
Yeah, I was going to say, but that's not the same thing as saying, yeah, like someone just showed up at your door with all of this gift wrapped, like, here's 7 people that you could see as long as you pick one. You know, there's still a lot you have to do, and you have to put yourself out there to try it. So it's not that easy.
Yeah, we're actually, Janai and I were talking kind of about that because they're in treatment right now. And one of their symptoms is executive functioning is really difficult for them. Anything with paperwork is really difficult for them.
Oh,
and
I have that too.
And when you get to treatment, they just keep dumping all this paperwork on you and like referring you to people that you have to like contact on your own and all this stuff. And yeah, it's like, don't feel guilty.
Now I really can't wait to listen to that episode. I'm like, that's such a good point. Like, you've blown my mind now because you just made me realize, like, well, that's a huge reason why I've come out of treatment, and it's never really, like, I've never landed in a good place. Because that's what I'm left with, is it's like, cool, now, you know, like, you gotta find this and continue on this, and I just immediately get, like, overwhelmed at the thought of it all. And then I don't follow through because I say, like we said earlier in the episode, but I came out all right. So I can just continue like that. I don't have to put effort into keeping that up.
Well, yeah. And especially if you're used to masking in any other part of your life, like you spend all your energy masking at work. And like maybe at work, it looks like you're able to do these things.
Right. You're able to fake it well enough.
Right. But then I always thought it was weird how when I worked at Starbucks, I could clean all day long. My store was always spotless. And then I would go home and I couldn't even like dust a shelf. I
can see that.
It's kind of like that. I don't know, man. We're just doing the best we can.
Yeah.
And trying to accept ourselves as we are instead of guilt ourselves for not doing all the things we possibly can do.
True that.
Me to me. Well, it's good to have you back. Oh yeah, I was going to say, let me know when you listen to Janai's episode, because there's like a crazy medical incompetence story that I know you're going to like
lose my shit.
Live it over.
Can't wait to lose my shit.
Yeah. So yeah, listeners, if you too want to lose your shit, go listen to that episode.
I haven't listened to this yet.
Yeah. And thank you for listening to this one. And we'll see you next week.
Yep.
Bye. If you like what you heard, tell a friend about the podcast. You can send them to picklesandvodka.substack.com, where they can listen to our entire catalog and find our newest merch. We love hearing from our listeners, so leave us a voice message at speakpipe.com/picklesandvodka. My personal Instagram is at xcjumperx, and Lauren's is at Lauren3_AFH. We'll see you next week.